The crazy bastards have only gone and done it. Hi everybody, Levi Clay here, and today we get to talk about something exciting. In fact, 2021 may now be the year that Levi Clay goes back to playing Ibanez guitars full time, because Ibanez have finally released a Telecaster inspired model for the AZ line of guitars. But before we talk about that, as usual, I want to say a huge thank you to my wonderful Patreon supporters. Link in the description if you would like to go and check out my Patreon page. And if you are new to the channel, please do hit that subscribe button. It is a huge help. So what's the AZ run of guitars and how are the Azs guitars different? Well, the AZ run of guitars are an extremely popular model that were released a good few years ago now. They're essentially a kind of modern super strat guitar design, but moving away from the more commonly used RG design of the Ibanez history. So these people often call these the Ibanez Sur killer, and they certainly resemble those classic modern Sur style guitars. Absolutely killer, and I do mean killer. These are some of the best guitars on the market, bang for the buck. I love the Azs Series, and the reason I don't own one is because I'm not really a strat style player. I don't play with tremolos. I'm at my core a Telecaster player, but when you look at the sheer amount of artists that are using these guitars, you can see that there is buzz, and you should be paying attention to that buzz. You've got guys like Tom Quayle, or of course Martin Miller with a signature model of these. Tons of guys playing the AZ guitars, absolutely excellent. Go check one out if they're for you. But if you're more excited by Telecasters like I am, then Ibanez have just announced the Azs Series. Now, like I say, at my very core, I'm a Telecaster guy. I love the simplicity of the Telecaster. And when I look through the list of my favourite guitar players, guys like Danny Gatton or Jim Campolongo or Ted Green or Scotty Anderson or Brent Mason, all of these guys, they're Telecaster players. Telecaster is a simple guitar. There's no tremolo on it. It begs to be played in a slightly different way than you are used to when you play guitars with tremolos. You can do things like bending behind the nuts. You're more inspired to play pedal steel inspired licks because when you bend one string, the other strings don't go out of tune. One of the downsides of a floating tremolo system. There's something magic about the tone of that bridge pickup being mounted on that steel plate. Telecasters are incredibly simple guitars, and when I play one, nothing gets in the way of the music. I don't think about how the guitar could be tweaked to be better. I just accept that it is what it is and I play music. So looking at these Azs models, there are a few available, and the first one is probably the one that I will end up picking up. Let's take a look at it. So the Azs2200H. This is a made in Japan prestige model guitar from Ibanez, and well, let's just take a look at that and see what we think about the overall look of things. Now, I'll be completely honest with you. It's available in two colours. There's the Tri-Fade Burst and also the Prussian Blue metallic colour. I definitely prefer the Tri-Fade Burst, but at my core, I kind of hoped that they were going to release a butterscotch model for this, and I'm not crazy about there being a humbucker in the neck, or a mini humbucker in this case. I like the idea of a traditional tele pickup. Again, not overly crazy on the headstock, but I guess that's because I'm looking at this guitar through the paradigm of what a Telecaster is. Looking at it in its own right, it's a perfectly acceptable design, and the more I stare at it, the more it is growing on me. Some people are a little bit put off by that kind of bent control plate, but when you think about that, that's a tweak on the design which should improve upon the playability of the traditional Fender Telecasters. These bends towards where the hands are playing mean that you can reach that pickup selector switch. So let's take a look at some of the specs for this guitar. The guitar is made with an ash body, comes with the S-Tech roasted maple fretboard with black dot inlays, 22 jumbo stainless steel frets, the Goto F1803 bridge, and a set of Seymour Duncan pickups. Now, when we take a look at the switching system, what we have is the Dyna Mix 5 switching system with Alta switch. So looking at this is kind of in line with what you see on the traditional Azs, those Strat-styled Azs. The Azs were heralded for their wonderful array of tones that were available because they all came with that switch on there, which gave you more tonal options. So it's nice to see that coming over to the Telecaster model. The steel pickup plate. So the steel pickup plate is designed exclusively for the Azs series. It's a critical component that helps generate that quintessential twangy tone for which this style of guitar is known. The plate is present on both tremolo and hardtail versions, which is very cool. It comes with two Seymour Duncan Magic Touch Mini and Alnico 2 Pro custom pickups. So this Magic Touch mini pickup in the neck position offers iconic tonal clarity for which this style of guitar is known, yet with extra body and articulation. Outside of that, we have, as mentioned, the roasted maple fretboard with black dot inlays, the oil-impregnated bone nut stainless steel frets, and the thing that I guess is kind of interesting to me is that super all-access neck joint. It's a tidy neck joint. I'm not going to deny that. It's definitely a tidy-looking neck joint. Like I say, it kind of moves away from the tradition of, to me, what a Telecaster really is or should be. But I like, I'm not looking at getting rid of the Telecasters, the vast collection of Telecasters I already have. I want to continue playing my Telecasters, but having something like this with a little bit more modern playability is exciting. It's something that should or could inspire anyone that picks it up. So outside of that basic fixed bridge model, there's also the Azs2200 models. Now there's three of these. There's the 2200 model, there's the 2200F, with the F denoting a flame top, and the 2200Q denoting the quilt top. These guitars are very, very similar in specs. The regular solid top one coming in a black finish, with the flamed maple top version coming with a sunset burst finish, which is absolutely beautiful. And then finally, the Q model coming with the royal blue sapphire finish. That's definitely a good looking guitar. And as you can see from looking at the images of it, it does not come with that curved control plate. So to me, this looks a lot more like a regular AZ model. This looks like the Strat style guitar, but just made into a single cut version. I absolutely know that this is going to appeal to people, but just speaking from my own personal taste, this guitar isn't really for me. If I needed a guitar, if I could only buy one guitar and I was going out there into the world, sure, these are great options because lots of people love the tremolo. But as I say, tremolo is not really for me. I do admire the fact that Ibanez have released this guitar with both a tremolo and a non-tremolo option, because as I say, it's not really at the core what Telecasters are really known for. So this is moving away from that Telecaster thing, but definitely interesting to hear how this combination of that steel plate with that tremolo system in place will sound. Will it retain all of that twang that you expect from a Telecaster style guitar? So what do you guys think? Do any of these appeal to you? I think some of them are genuinely very pretty looking guitars. And as I say, while I would probably prefer seeing the basic one, the S2209H, while I would prefer to see that in a butterscotch finish, just for my traditional or traditionalist view on that iconic butterscotch Telecaster look, I don't hate this particular design and definitely looking forward to getting my hands on one. Let me know in that comment section below what you think of these, and please do go and check out my other video talking about the Larry Basilio and Josh Smith signature models. Lastly, I just want to say a huge thank you to my wonderful supporters over on Patreon. You guys are absolutely incredible. Got some of your names scrolling. You guys keep the channel coming. So if you would like to support me on Patreon, there is a link in the description and you can get access to my private Patreon-only groups for as little as $1 a month. Get your name listed in the credits, join my monthly study club streams, or take a monthly private lesson with me. Who wouldn't want to do that, right? Great value for money. Great value. If that doesn't appeal to you, you can also head on over to Amazon and check out one of my books. There are many available, and it is all a huge help. Thank you so much for all your kindness, generosity, and support, guys. Any questions, let me know in that comment section below. You guys have been absolutely awesome. I'm still me, the same old asshole I've always been. Thanks one more time, and I will see you for another video soon. Goodbye.